Hello everyone, welcome back to Learning Japanese with Yui. Today I have an incredible news to share with you about how I managed to pass a Japanese technical exam in just 5 days. And no, I didn't use Anki or flashcards. I started this challenge to see how fast I could read and retain knowledge from a Japanese textbook and posted daily progress on Twitter to keep myself accountable. I've included my Twitter in the description if you're interested in my other challenges. On day one, I ordered the official 200-page textbook from Amazon and skimmed over the first page of each chapter. This was the hardest part of my entire journey because I had to process a lot of information in a very short amount of time. I wanted to have a bird's eye view of what I have to study in the next 4 days. On day two, I began drawing my mind map. I went through the index page and basically did the same thing I did the day before, but tried to understand the subheadings of each chapter and encapsulate the entire chapter with one or two keywords. Without reading the details of each chapter and only having a surface understanding of what's going on, I forced myself to find relationships and draw connections between these keywords on my mind map. By the way, the mind map tool I used is called Freeform, an app available only on macOS and iOS. But I found a cross-platform app called Logsec, and that app is an even better and more efficient tool for my needs. I'll include the links in the description. On days 3 to 4, I speed read the contents of the textbook. While I did have an advantage coming from a background in IT and tech, a lot of the historical knowledge like 2G and 3G, how cell towers work and how phones connect, as well as Japan-specific knowledge like laws and regulations were new to me. Slowly adding these details and expanding my mind map was the most enjoyable process of this challenge. I was consistently engaged and experienced a high sense of satisfaction as my mind map grew bigger. On day 5, right before the exam, I skimmed through my finished mind map and went through every node and link, asking myself the connection between each node and trying to recall any relevant details. It was surprising how much detail I could still remember. That afternoon, I headed to the test center, finished the computerized exam in 30 minutes, half the time I was given, and got a pass result immediately. While I don't know my exact marks, I felt very confident with most of my answers. So here's the summary of what I've learned. Mind maps are super helpful even though this was the first time I've used mind maps seriously as a tool for learning. The hardest part is the beginning, when you have to group and connect concepts before you fully understood them. This hard process facilitates higher order learning. It improves long-term retention and makes things stick, without the need for spaced repetition. Speaking of which, I just applied to a national exam called Gihon Kijutsu Shashiken, and I'll attempt to finish a 700-page textbook and pass the exam in 30 days. So subscribe if you want to follow and see how that goes.